All right, everyone. Let's go ahead and get the show on the road. It is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. So we want to honor everyone's time today. So we'll go ahead and get rolling here. But hope everyone's doing well. Thank you so much for joining our call today. Really looking forward to today's presentation. Really excited for everyone to hear it. But before we get into that presentation, kind of want to introduce a couple individuals real quick, introduce us. For those that don't know me, my name is Philip Lamar. I'm one of the marketing sales directors here with Acmg. And for those that aren't familiar with Acmg, that's our company, stands for American Central Marketing Group. And we are proud to be one of the biggest FMOs in the country. We have the honor and pleasure of serving thousands and thousands of agents all over the U.S. and all 50 states. And everything from any kind of product you can imagine. Our whole goal, our whole purpose is to help agents just like you, brokers, GAs, MGAs, no matter what your walk is in your insurance business, our whole goal is to help you get the best products in the industry at the highest commissions possible. Just want to let everyone else also know we're going to keep everyone on mute today just to make sure it's we have a clear recording because we are recording this today. So that means if anyone wants this recording, just email us and I'll post that email in the chat, but you can always get this recording later. But we'll keep everyone on mute. So if you do have questions, just throw it in the chat. We'll make sure we get to it at some point. If it's during, we'll type it out. Otherwise, Bill, myself, or Rob will answer it at the end of this call. But also want to introduce my good friend, the CEO and founder of Acmg, Rob Swander, joined us on the call today. So he's here. Thanks for being here, Rob. But before we get going into this and I introduce you to our speaker today, Bill, I want to kind of mention a couple things. All of us are here today probably because we sell life insurance, right? You got the email today, the last couple of days, you saw the presentation, you saw us about life insurance. You may have been intrigued by some of the marketing materials we reached up. I'm going to go ahead and make sure everyone's muted there. There we go. Sorry about that, everyone. But we're all here because we sell life insurance. And everyone here has probably dealt with a lot of the problems or the complications or frustrations with life insurance, right? We all know what it's like to go through underwriting for 4, 5, 6 weeks, 2, 3 months, right? We all know what it's like when your client, you think that they're going to be preferred plus and the underwriter comes back and gives them, standard and then puts them at a table rating, right? We all know what it's like to have clients get frustrated with these kind of things. And on top of that, even furthermore, everything from the entire sales process, from the quoting, the application, the underwriting process can take a long time. And so at Acmg, Rob and I thought, how can we come up with a solution? How can we find a way to streamline the process, to make it efficient, to make it quick, so people, agents, can sell a product, have a policy close in a couple days, if not the same day? And how can clients have an easy, streamlined purchasing process? So we partnered with a great vendor, a great partner of ours called Ethos Life. You may have heard of them. And Ethos is changing the game when it comes to life insurance. And when I say changing the game, I'm not kidding. Just wait till you hear what Bill has to say on what Ethos is doing, both for agents and for consumers. So without further ado, I want to introduce everyone to Bill. Bill is a big shot over at Ethos, and he's kind enough to come and hang out with us and present. So Bill, go ahead and take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Philip. And thank you very much, Rob, for having me today. This is a great opportunity. So I appreciate everyone's time. I know how busy it is right now. And I want to wish everyone a happy St. Patrick's Day Eve. I hope everyone has a safe and fun St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. I'll be working tomorrow, so don't worry if you need to call me. I'll still be here working the full day. And I think I don't really have anything more to say. Philip kind of teed us up perfectly. So if you have clients who are interested in getting life insurance, but they are concerned that the process is going to be long, difficult, and time consuming, that is where you want to introduce them to Ethos and let them know it's going to be only a 10-minute online application and no paramed exam, and they can go from there. So just right here, I'll start sharing my screen. I'm going to go through some of this presentation. Then I'm going to switch over to do a real quick demo of the new enhanced and really, really updated, packed with tons of feature agent portal we have. But as you have questions as I'm going through, make sure you put those in the chat. I want to make sure I can hit as many questions as you folks have as we go through. So once again, my name is Bill Kennedy. I'm a partnerships account manager here at Ethos. If you're already signed up with Ethos, I'm going to be your main point of contact here at Ethos Life. If you have not yet signed up, please make sure you get the link from Philip and Rob, and I will be the point of contact, and I will invite you to an onboarding session where I'll go a little bit more in depth about how to use the tools here and how to run quotes. But I've been in the life insurance business for, well, dedicated to life insurance for 12, 14 years now. And I've been here with Ethos for a little bit over a year, and I came to Ethos for a very specific reason. I had heard a lot about them. At the company I was at prior, I was doing a lot of our competitive research, and Ethos was the company that is like, man, I wish we could do the things that they're doing. And so I reached out to people I knew here, and I made a conscious decision to come over to Ethos because I knew it's where the technology is going and where this business is trending. So let's talk a little bit about life insurance, and then we'll talk about a little bit about what makes the Ethos process real unique. I'm going to go over a few things today. Life Insurance 101. I'm going to kind of skip through that one a little bit quick. I think most folks on this call already have quite a bit of background and experience with life insurance. I am going to talk about how important it is. And I'm also going to talk about a recent LIMRA study that's going to help you talk to people about life insurance as well. But then we're going to get to our real keys with the Ethos placement and how easy it is to both quote your clients as well as for your clients to sign up. I'll give you some scripting that you can utilize when you're talking to clients about life insurance. And then I'm going to give you some best practices for follow-up cadences and client outreach after you've quoted clients and after they've even closed. Some best practices, make sure those are clients for life, because that's the real key. You want to be a trusted advisor. You want those clients to stay with you for life. So as my old boss used to always say to me, keep it simple. He would actually tell me, keep it simple, stupid. But I would say, hey, I'm not stupid, but that's the old saying, and I think it really applies here. Life insurance is actually can be very complicated, but it also can be very simple if you keep it at a simple level. Not simple meaning not intricate or not smart, but simple in it's a basic need. People have people who are they're taken care of. If you're working and you have a family, or you're working and you have people who depend upon you, you need to have enough life insurance to make sure that if you're not there and that money machine's not happening, that income you're earning isn't happening for either your family or your loved ones or whomever, you want to make sure that they're protected if you're not there. And that's really as simple as life insurance is. So, you know, just really briefly, as I said, I'm going to skip over this part pretty quickly because it's really 101 for you folks, but it's a lump sum tax-free payout known as a death benefit. And that's the real key. You're paying X dollars per month to the life insurance company with the promise that if something were to happen to you, that life insurance is going to pay out a big death benefit to your family if something were to happen. And the one thing I will tell everybody on this call, if you've already been selling life, great. If you've only been selling life for a little while, you're going to keep selling life because it's a really important job that you need to do. Most Americans aren't covered enough, and most Americans need more coverage. So I will tell you really quickly about a study. Every year I read, this is called the Barometer Study that LIMRA does. LIMRA is the Life Insurance Marketing Research Association. Every year they do this barometer study. They survey 3,000 random Americans, and it's really shocking year over year how they get some of the very same answers. The one thing that always comes through is that Americans do not have enough life insurance coverage. Most of them have coverage only through work, and many of them don't even have coverage through work. So they definitely will need more. That work coverage, as you know, is not going to be enough to cover your family for years to come. And it's not going to be portable. If you leave that job, it's not going to be able to come with you. And the second thing is most people don't know that they need more life insurance. Actually, well, not most, about half. The most recent study was 47+% of average Americans know in their head that they need more life insurance. They just need someone to remind them and to let them know how easy the process is. And that's where you guys can come in. You can make sure you let people know that it doesn't have to be a complicated process, because the number one thing holding them back from purchasing more life insurance is their concern. Their concern is going to be long. They're going to concern it's going to be confusing. They're going to concern it's going to be complicated. And historically, that has been the case. And again, that's why I came over to Ethos. We're here to cut out all that red tape, make it a very transparent, simple process for clients. And I'll show you kind of laid out how that is. But if you can offer people life insurance, let them know it's only going to be a 10-minute proposition for them. And it's going to be very transparent and easy. You're going to be able to close a ton of that business. Obviously, for homeowners, it's really important. Similarities between property and casualty. If anybody's a multi-line agent here, there are a lot of similarities here, just like P&C and agreements made between an individual and an insurance company. The one thing that's different about life insurance is those claims are much easier to verify and pay out quickly. And if you've ever paid out a claim, I got to tell you, the very first claim that you pay out to a client from a life policy that you offered to somebody, that's going to change your life, because you're going to offer life insurance to every single person you meet the very first time you pay out a claim, because you're going to know how important that life insurance is. It happened to me, at this point, it's been a couple of decades since I paid out my first claim. But believe me, when I was walking into that funeral parlor and I was able to tell that widow, hey, by the way, you don't have to worry about the cost of this funeral. You don't have to worry about your mortgage coming due next month. You don't have to worry about the college fund for your kids, because that's all covered now. That check's coming in the mail. It's going to be tax-free, and you're going to be taken care of. And the look on that woman's face when I was able to tell her that, relieve her of everything. There's so many things that she still had to worry about, but what she didn't have to worry about was money now and in the future. And once you have that sort of happen to you, you're going to recognize that you need to offer life to everybody. And that benefit is really crucial for people. So specifically, what's different about Ethos, and why are we, quite frankly, better? It's because we have a unique technology platform, and we have a unique underwriting process that we've been working on and honing for 5 years. Ethos is a relatively recent company. We're new to the game. We kind of were able to start from scratch. We didn't have a lot of old-fashioned computer systems we had to work through, and B, old-fashioned methods of operations we had to work through. We were able to build things from scratch, being digital 100% from the very get-go. So we've got a online application, and it's very unique in that clients will complete the application online themselves. So the process being digital acquisition. As an agent, you can send a client a customized quote. You can send it to them via email. The client can read the quote on that email, and they're going to have an apply button right there in that email. Any device that they can use to read that email, cell phone, tablet, laptop, whatever that device is that they can read that email on, they can go ahead and hit that apply button and apply online in 10 minutes using that device. That's how simple it is for them. There are some health questions in that 10-minute application. However, once that application is complete, there's not a follow-up event that you have to schedule. You don't have to schedule a blood draw. You don't have to schedule a paramed exam. There's never a medical exam ever. What we do is we have a unique underwriting algorithm. It's going to look at a lot of different data. It's going to look at data on top of the standard health prescription history that we can look at. And we're going to use that to help us underwrite. And we can underwrite a lot of policies immediately. The overwhelming majority, we're going to be able to underwrite within 2 to 3 business days. That's versus an industry average of well over a month. 4, 5, 6 weeks is kind of a standard underwriting time. Because of that, we can get policies to people much quicker. And again, that takes care of one of those concerns. It's going to take people forever to get covered. And then after that, clients have a self-checkout. They can choose what their final face amount is going to be. They can choose what their final terms are going to be. They can pay that very first premium either via credit card or ACH online immediately. And they're going to be covered right there, right after they get that offer. And then after that, they got a great administrative platform they can use to download their policy documents and make payment changes, things like that that they need to. I am going to highlight this little circle down at the bottom. It says 86 and it's circled. That's something called a net promoter score. Because we have such a unique process, we have a net promoter score that is nowhere near other companies within the industry. Net promoter score is something, if you purchased a car recently or had another big purchase, you probably got a survey from that company. And net promoter score means, would you recommend us to your friends and family? And it's usually given on a scale of 1 to 10. If you pick like 8, 9, or 10 of, yeah, I would recommend you to my friends and family, boom, you're a net promoter. So Ethos Life gets about an 86 the last time we did it as a net promoter score. The industry average is somewhere in the 40s. And I will tell you that the big old-fashioned carriers in this business, they're happy with a 50. They're very happy with a 50, but we have a very high net promoter score because we do just that. We're able to eliminate that that number one concern that people have about the life insurance purchase process being so difficult. Here's some scripting for you. I'm going to make this available to you. I'll get everybody's, well, I'll actually put my email in the chat too. But if anybody wants a copy of this later on, we can give you this as well as a couple other great scripts. It's important to have some scripts available to you, make them your own, but it's a great way to utilize. This first one is if you're a multi-line agent, thanks for choosing to insure your home with me. Many clients also look at a term life policy to help with mortgage protection should things not go as planned. Nice euphemism. Based on our initial conversation, I can send you a link for a quote, and all you have to do is apply. It's going to take 10 minutes, and that's the real key. You want to make sure as you're quoting people, you're letting them know. And by the way, it's an online application that you can do in just 10 minutes, and there's no medical exam. How does that sound good? And most people are going to say, sure. So as I said, I'll be able to get this scripting as well as some other scripting out to you guys right after this. In terms of products, so we have a very unique process, and we do have a range of products that we can offer as well through Ethos Life. We kind of really specialize on two ends of the spectrum. For folks up to and including 65 years of age, we focus on term life insurance. That's the number one reason why people purchase life insurance is for income protection. So if you're 65 and younger, you're probably still working and you probably need some income protection if you're not there as one of the breadwinners for the family. And even if you're not a primary breadwinner or even a breadwinner at all, if you're a stay-at-home parent, and there's a lot of stay-at-home dads these days as well as stay-at-home moms. What they bring to the family is actually really important as well, and you need to replace that monetarily if they're not around to provide that valuable service to their family as well. So for up to age 65, we've got no exam life insurance, up to $2 million coverage through our term policy, and you can get 10, 20, 30-year fixed increments. And it's that simple. And that's the simplest policy there is. You pay X amount of premium per month, and you'll get Y amount as of death benefit if something were to happen during the length of that term. From the other end of the spectrum, we do have whole life insurance available, and that whole life insurance, our products are really designed to focus on the final expense market. We've got a couple of different options for the final expense market with the whole life insurance. We've got a one that is underwritten. It's a simple underwriting. It's not as complex as our term, even though our term is fast, it's very complex. But we have a simple 8 knockout questions plus a quick prescription check, whole life. And so for folks who are looking for final expense protection, this one actually goes up to $100,000, our Advantage Whole Life. And for folks who want that final expense protection and can't answer those knockout questions with no's, no, I didn't have a heart attack, no, I didn't have a stroke, no, I'm not in an assisted living facility, that's great. That's an immediate issue product. And then secondarily, we've got a guaranteed issue product on the whole life side. Our guaranteed issue product is an old-fashioned graded benefit policy. Now, the policy itself is kind of old-fashioned with graded benefit, but the application process isn't. Again, it's that simple 10 minutes, actually less than 10 minutes because there's not any of the health questions on there. Simple 10-minute process online. You can get covered with that guaranteed acceptance whole life immediately. That goes up to $20,000. Again, no health questions, no underwriting whatsoever. It's a graded benefit for the first 2 years, which means for the first 2 years, and this just applies to the guaranteed product and nothing else, but for the first 2 years, the full amount of face amount won't be paid out for the first 2 years. What the beneficiaries would receive would be a calculation of 100% of premiums paid to date, plus a 10% interest rate factor on top of that. And then when that 2-year anniversary kicks in, that's when that policy will start paying out the full face amount. So if people can make it 2 years after purchasing that guaranteed acceptance, they are in like Flynn. Few great engaging questions for you. Again, I can send this stuff out to everybody later. Number 2, I think, is the real key though. And that really plays into what life insurance is all about. Life insurance is a very unique sell in that it's really not going to help anybody. It's only going to help people's family. So I pay X hundreds of dollars every, I'm one of those guys because I'm in the business. I'm definitely overinsured. I wouldn't recommend people have as much insurance as I have on myself, but people do need some amount. And I cut those checks on a monthly basis gladly. I actually don't cut checks. They're all automated through my credit card, but I pay those every month gladly because I know if something were to happen to me, if I get hit by a bus, I know that my family is going to get taken care of. And my kids are just finishing up college now, but my wife's going to be able to stay in our house. She's going to be able to have a great retirement. Our kids are going to be taken care of, all that kind of stuff. And I know that. So every month when I pay my life insurance, I feel good about it. And just as an aside, I actually did get hit by a bus a couple of years ago, and I lived to tell the tale. So, but had that happened 2 years ago, it's only funny because that was the story of my entire career in life insurance. Is kind of one of the things I say to somebody. Hey, listen, I want to make sure you sign up for this life insurance policy today, because I don't want you walking out of the office and getting hit by a bus and me trying to explain to your wife or your husband, well, we talked about life insurance, but we didn't actually sign the paperwork yet. If you get hit by a bus the second you walk out of this office, I want to make sure we've got you covered. That's an old-fashioned line that people use, and sometimes people get hit by buses and they keep going just fine. Here's the point. I'm going to stop the PowerPoint right here, and I want to do a little live demo of our agent portal. The agent portal is fantastic. It's one-stop shopping for you. Let's see here. There we go. The agent portal is a one-stop shop, and we've really enhanced it quite a bit. I am gonna open this up, and if you guys don't mind telling me in the chat here, yeah, can you guys type in, just let me know if you can see the green and white portal? Yeah.
This is Phil. We can see it perfectly.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Of course.
So if you have been signed up with us already and you haven't been in the agent portal in a couple of weeks, you will recognize a new look. If you haven't been signed up with us at all, this is going to be brand new to you. But this portal is great. It's a one-stop shop. It'll do everything for let you quote clients to track your client acquisitions from quote to application to activated policy. It'll be able to track your commissions. And then you're also going to be able to use this invite your client link, which I'll show you real quickly. This is going to be a fast overview. Again, if you're new signing up, I want to make sure you have, and I will make sure you have an option of getting a much more in-depth overview of that portal, of this portal rather. But the quick quoter, this is kind of our secret sauce. If you use this quote engine to send a quote out to your client, 80% of those clients will go ahead and click on the apply button and start that application. One of the things we talk about here is credit estimate. It's pretty unique. I've been using quoting tools for years and years and years in this business, but not till I came to Ethos did I see that. But that is one of the things that we utilize to help underwrite. We do look at credit information. We're not doing a credit report. It's not a hard pull or even a soft pull against their credit. But we look at things like, did you have a recent bankruptcy or do you have a real credit difficulty, because that's going to help us underwrite. If we do know somebody has difficult credit, we can note that right here, and we're going to give them a more accurate quote right from the get-go. And of course, just like any other quoting tool, I always let people know this is a quote. It's not a final offer yet, not until the underwriting's complete, which will hopefully just take a day. Will we have a final offer for you? So, I always click standard. I always default to standard. And then once you click this view results, you're going to get a nice sliding scale. And you're going to say, okay, I want to offer this person, boom, $500,000 in coverage. Do I want to do 10, 15, 20 years? I'm going to offer them the 20-year at $500,000. And I'll click here and I can email them that quote. The quote's going to look kind of like this in the email. And then right below that, again, that's the real key. There's going to be a little button that says apply. And they'll be able to apply immediately once they get that email from you. And then, yeah, once you have start sending quotes out, you have the little customers tab and you can follow along. You can see all the quotes you sent. I'll talk to you a little bit about a cadence process. We want to follow up on our quotes 2, 3, 4 days after you quoted them. And then as they become real applications, they're going to show up in your applications dashboard. And as they become activated policies, they'll show up in your policies dashboard. I don't have anything because I'm not in production. And then another thing, if you haven't been in the portal in a while, we have a new resources tab that's got a lot of fantastic information here. One thing I am going to point out, and I can make this available to anybody who wants to get a hold of it, who can't find it in the portal. We've got this product detail and knockout conditions page. It's a great one-pager. It's going to list all the available products from our term for folks 65 and under to our couple of whole life products for final expense. Give you the age ranges for all the products, the face amount limits. Again, $2 million for the term, but the other products have lower face amount limits. And as well as on page 2 of that, we'll have all the knockout conditions on that. The other thing that's a little bit unique about Ethos is we have this thing called the invite your client link. This is a URL that we'll build that's going to be dedicated to your agency that you can send people to, and they can quote and apply online themselves. So if you are doing any mass marketing, email marketing, Facebook ads, and we can provide you with canned ads for that. If you're doing anything like that, all you have to do is invite people to go to this page, and it'll take them to a page. This one is a sample. I've got my agency name in it, which is not an actual agency. I haven't been in production for years, but you can have this exact same page made out for you folks. And from here, clients can go ahead and quote and apply online for themselves. And if they apply using this page, that will get credited to your agent number and ultimately to your commissions. So let's do one more flip back, and I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint real quick. So again, that's that Ethos agents.ethoslife.com. We've also got a chat box on there, which I didn't point out, but it's fantastic to utilize. Some best practices and follow-up cadences. So you went ahead, you use that quick quoter, you've shared some quotes with your clients. What do you do next? Well, there's lots of things you can do. You really want to make sure we have an 80% response rate. So 80% of those people go ahead and click on the submit button, but you want your response rate to be 100%, and you want 100% of those people to actually go ahead and apply because there's no obligation. It's only going to take them about 10 minutes. So there's lots of different things you can do: phone calls, emails, text messages, handwritten notes. Never go out of style in terms of sales. There's nothing that is impactful as a handwritten note. But here's an example for cadence, day 3. You can easily sort your quotes right there on the agent portal, and you can look at everybody you quoted 3 days ago. Hey, just wanted to follow up and make sure you received the life insurance quote I sent. Did you get it? Seems real simple, but it's an important reminder to people. Oh yeah, I did get that, and I took a look at it, but I didn't do anything yet. So it's just a reminder to get people going. Day 5, text message and an email. Day 8 is you can send another email. You can resend the quote on day 8 is another great idea as well. They might have. It's probably going to be hard to find in their email queue at that point. So then the client completes the application. What then? After the application is approved, all that's left is for the client to go in and activate their coverage and download their policy documents. So the client's going to get, if it's not an immediate approval, which it sometimes is right online when they're filling out the app, they're going to get an email, and that email is going to say, offer them to go ahead and finalize that process. All they got to do is go back in, use their email address, and finalize that process. Once they put their payment information, we're going to lock in and bind that coverage, and that policy is going to get activated. Then from an agent standpoint, you're going to be able to track all that progress in the applications dashboard. You're going to see the full progress of every application from started to completed to approved to hopefully activated. And at that point, you're going to be ready to get paid. Quick compliance note, this is actually really important stuff, even though compliance makes me talk about it. I like to talk about it because it keeps everybody safe and protected. So E&O insurance, if you are already signed up with us, I highly recommend you go ahead and upload your E&O document. You can do that from the settings tab of the portal because we're not going to be able to pay your first commission until we have your E&O in there. And then you have to just type in your state producer's number in that same system, in that same settings tab. And once we have that E&O and your license, you're good. We can start paying you commissions right away. There is default marketing material. You're going to find it right there in the portal again. If you need me to show you where it is, I'm happy to do it. We've got a great library of canned advertising pieces available for you. If you use those, great. If you want to create your own marketing that has the Ethos name on it, you definitely can do that. But there is a approval form you got to submit. Again, that's all right there in the portal. If you go ahead and submit it for approval, it just really has to be honest and transparent and accurate, which it all will be anyhow. Just want to remind everybody about the Can-Spam Act. Never call or text unless you've got prior written consent. And then the last part, I touched on this already, but it's really a key and it's a real benefit for you as the agent because it really keeps you from having to do a lot of this. I call it the specimen collection part of the business. Back when in my day, I had things where back in the day I had to take really long swabs and swab the inside of people's cheeks and put in a little baggie and send it in along with the application. There's all sorts of crazy stuff you used to have to do. But at this point, that application's online. People will fill out. They're going to answer those health questions all by themselves in the comfort of their own home. You don't have to work through them with all those health questions. It's always good to do a little bit of field underwriting. But in terms of getting in the nitty gritty and answering all the questions and every single prescription somebody has, applicants will be able to do that all online. And quite frankly, they have to, because that's a client-driven app. The client has to move that app along with themselves. You can be with them and answer their questions, obviously, or you can even Zoom in with them if you're in a different city and answer their questions. But it is a client-driven app, and we always make sure that clients actually complete them themselves. So with that being said, I am going to start looking at those chats.
Awesome. Bill, this is Phil. Great presentation. Very well done. Thank you so much. Everyone, this is Phil here again with Acmg. I want to let everyone know, like Bill said, we're going to go into a time of Q&A. So if you have any questions, if there's anything that's kind of buzzing on your head right now, please go ahead and start throwing it in the chat, and we're going to start at the top and just make our way all the way down to the bottom. But before we do that, and as you're typing out your questions, want to kind of remind everyone a couple things. We did record this meeting today, and if you would like that recording, we will not be sending outbound emails. If you would like the recording, you will need to email us, and we'll be more than happy to send that to you. But it's agentservices@acmgsales.com. Again, that's agentservices@acmgsales.com. If you look at the chat, I threw it in there a second ago, but you can email us for the recording. And then I went ahead and threw, my partner Rob and I, we went ahead and threw the contracting link. So if you want to get set up, Ethos is so amazing because it's a 5-minute process to get appointed. I kid you not, it is that easy. All you have to do is click that link that we threw in the chat, set up, and then you can start selling Ethos right away. Very, very simple, streamlined process. And then I'm sure a lot of folks in here are going to have questions on commissions. So kind of want to hit on that real quick. If you look at the screen, this is the official commission schedule for Ethos. So you can see everything in there. You see the term, the simplified issue term, the final expense, the you can see all the different benefits in there, the guaranteed acceptance, obviously it's all there. You can see these are very high commissions. Again, like I said at the beginning of the call, Acmg offers the highest comp in the industry, and so you won't be able to get this anywhere else. This is the highest contracts that Ethos offers, and so we're more than happy to set you up on that, because this is what your commissions will look like. And then last thing I want to mention before Bill starts going into some questions, a couple things here. Number one, Ethos offers 12-month advances. Yes, you heard me right, 12-month advances, and they have, Bill, correct me if I'm wrong here, I believe it's a weekly pay cycle. Is that correct?
That's correct. We pay every Thursday.
So if you've been in the life insurance business anytime, you know that it in itself is why you should start selling Ethos. You can sell 10 policies and get a 12-month advance on all 10 policies the next pay cycle, that next week. So, we all here, we have to feed our families. We're not running nonprofits, but we can help our clients, but we can also make a healthy living. So I'm sure everyone saw the value of Ethos. So go ahead and start throwing the questions in there. And Bill, I tried to answer some of them during your presentation to save you some time, but if you see anything in there, feel free to do your thing.
Awesome. So yeah, the very first one I see from Hugo, never a paramed. Great question. And no, for our term products up to $2 million is no paramed. That's one of the real unique things is our unique underwriting algorithms. We don't rely on a paramed exam ever. Once the client's done that 10-minute application, they are ready. The next question is going to be a toughie for me. Where in the sandbox is our back office? Unfortunately, we have people with from different organizations per se, with lots of different sandboxes and lots of different portals. I would direct you to go to agents.ethoslife.com. That's where you're going to be able to go in once you're signed up, and I'll make sure everybody has that email address. And we don't have an app; we just have that online portal. Email that out. Please send. Sorry about that. I'm reading as I'm going through. Is that for accidental death or for medical death? I'm assuming that we're talking about the GAWL. Again, GAWL is the only product that's not going to pay the full face amount right from day one of the policy life. Yeah, actually, accidental deaths are accepted. So let's say a person purchases a guaranteed acceptance whole life today. They got hit by a bus in a week. If they got hit by a bus, that's an accidental death. Actually, that's going to pay the full payout. It's only a natural causes death, which they're going to have for that first 2 years, that graded benefit. Yeah, accidental death is the waiver on that. Let's see.
Looks like there's a good question, Bill. Someone asked, what states can we sell Ethos in?
Oh, great one. Did I miss that? Yes. Every state but New York, unfortunately. So unfortunately, if you are in New York primarily or do a lot of your business in New York, we're not there yet, but the other 49, we are good to go. Really great question about that quoting tool, Power Quote. I didn't get into that. There was a little slider that you can utilize from the quick quote to the Power Quote. That's going to let you do a little bit more field underwriting. It's got a really quick BMI calculator in there. You can see if the BMI is going to put them out of range or if it's going to put them in a range where they're going to be standard or maybe even table rated. And then there's some medical questions you can ask using that Power Quoter that's going to help you put them in the right class if you need to. And that's something I'll be able to get into if you want to get a extended version of the online portal training. Question about standard whole life or RUL. Another great question. That is not in our wheelhouse right now. We're actually working right now. I was talking to our product management team about it yesterday. We're working on developing internally an indexed universal life product. But right now, sort of traditional cash value product that you'd be selling somebody in their 40s and 50s to build up cash value for retirement and things like that. Unfortunately, that's not a product segment that we're in right now. We really focus for 65 and below. We really focus on term for them. So yeah, we do have whole life available now. And again, that's going to be really focused on maybe folks past 65. And it does, our whole life policy, the Advantage whole life policy actually does build up nice cash value with it too. It's just not designed for that younger market. You can invite clients to apply using that link via cell phone. Yes, 100%. So if you send out that email to somebody and they open that email on their cell phone, they can apply on their cell phone. I've tested it out myself quite a bit. Actually, another aside is when I was kicking the tires on Ethos, considering coming on board, I actually had a term policy that was coming due. And I actually applied and am a client of Ethos way before I even applied as an employee. And that process took me just a couple minutes, and I did my application on the cell phone. I actually did it on my cell phone, like in between calls. It took me about 5 minutes to get it done. It was really a piece of cake. Contracting links, I'll let you handle all those, Philip, because you're on top of it. Yeah, great question about why coming through ACMG for all the additional marketing support ACMG is going to give you, as well as potentially that better contract, particularly with advanced commission. You're not going to be able to get advanced commission without coming in through ACMG. We talked about commission breakdown already. What happens when clients have health issues? Yeah, that's another great question, Hugo. We're talking about paramed exams. Paramed exams, we do full medical underwriting. So it's kind of paradoxical. We'll ask about those health questions. We do a prescription check. If there is something, and this only happens to a small percent of our applications, but for a small percent of our applications, we actually do have to do additional discovery. We do occasionally have to order an APS, an attending physician statement. We do occasionally have to get a little quick survey completed by a doctor's office if there's a prescription that doesn't make sense, or we don't have enough details on. You know, as an example, you said, you know, you never had a cancer diagnosis, but you're on some sort of cancer med. We'll delve into that further. We're just going to do all that without a paramed exam. So about 20-ish% of our applications we're not able to do in 2 or 3 days. We're usually able to do those in about 2 weeks generally, but it's generally because we had to reach out to the doctor's office to get some additional details. But Ethos Life handles all that case management in that situation. You do not have to contract directly with the carriers when you're with Ethos Life. You're going to be a partner agent of ours, and we, being Ethos, will be paying you the commissions. Because of that, you're not going to have to go ahead and appoint yourself directly with the carrier agents. The primary carrier agents we're working with are Banner, Ameritas, and TrueStage. A lot of people are already appointed with Banner. There's no exclusivity there, though. If you're writing with Banner on a retail basis and selling their retail product direct through Banner, you can also sell our products, where Banner is the carrier. They're different products with different pricing and different underwriting criteria. You can sell them both simultaneously. Is there a chargeback policy? Yep. So we do occasionally, unfortunately, have to do chargebacks. We'll do, if it's under 4 months, we'll do a full 12 months chargeback. And after 4 months, it'll be prorated for the amount because we're going to pay the full 12 months right up front. And if it's more than 12 months, or if the policy was in force more than 4 months, it'll be prorated. If the policy was in force less than 4 months, it's going to be a full chargeback for the full thing. But hopefully you don't get those. That's, you know, talking about that cadence. If you, you know, the 2 things I always talk to people is how much life insurance do you need and how much life insurance can you afford? And it doesn't matter how much you need. If you can't afford the payments on it, it's not going to be a good life insurance policy because it has to be in force for you the whole time. So it's really important to get those premium commitments. You know, can you really afford that $100 a month, that $200 a month, that $75 a month, whatever it is? If they can really put it in their budget, that's the key. And you want to make sure that policy at least stays in force for a year. Yes, so we've got some great information. This is a question about marketing. We have a lot of agents who are marketing through Google, through Facebook, through Instagram. We have a full step-by-step that will help you through. If you want to do Instagram or Facebook, we have a library of ads you can utilize for any of those. And we also, if you are interested in purchasing leads, because we have a lot of agents who purchase leads, we've negotiated a great discount program with a company called EverQuote. So if you're interested in taking advantage of that discount through EverQuote, let me know and I can send you out that flyer. Now, I will tell you, you cannot take advantage of that discount through EverQuote until you're actually already signed up with us. So once you're signed up with us, we can get you that flyer to take advantage of that discount through EverQuote. It's a great discount. They'll waive their monthly fee for your first $500 to spend. They'll match $500 worth of leads. And then there's a ongoing % discount after that. Do we have streamlined underwriting without a paramed? Yeah, we never have a paramed. Do term policies have a conversion rider? Great question. Yeah, at this point, no. So none of our term policies, we keep them very straight and bare boned. We don't have a lot of riders on them, and we do not have a convertibility option on them either. So our riders our term products are set, really created to replace income during your working years. And then after that, you got to make sure you're covered for final expense or whatever your other estate planning needs aside from that term policy. Do you have to be licensed in the states you want to sell? Correct. That is 100% correct. Good question, Nicole. So any state that you are licensed in, if you sell a product in that state, we'll go ahead and pay you commissions in that state. If by chance, and you can do it after the fact, but let's say, you're in the state of Michigan and you wrote a policy in Indiana, but you're not licensed yet in Indiana. Once you write that policy, you can actually go ahead and apply to get licensed in Indiana. And once you're licensed, if you do that within 30 days of closing that policy, we'll go ahead and we'll be able to pay you commission. But we're not going to be able to pay you commission on a policy in that state until you get licensed in that state.
Bill, this is Phil here. Just as people are typing in questions, we'll take a couple more and we'll start to wrap it up here. But had a couple people DM me and a couple other things, but wanted to highlight, like I said a minute ago, Acmg does offer the highest contract in the entire industry for Ethos. I can assure you that. And so if you do have a contract with Ethos now, or maybe some of your downline agents do, I put in the chat there, just email us at agentservices@acmgsales.com. Bill and our team will help move contracts over. We're more than happy to do that. And then if anyone wants to get signed up, it's a 5-minute process. It's very simple. We also put that contracting link in the chat, and then anyone that has questions on commissions, you can see that. So just wanted to highlight those things real quick.
Yep. Thank
Hey,
you.
Bill, this is Rob. Let's talk about the guys. Ethos always has these wonderful bonuses that they're doing, and there's a very strong one that's going on right now to the end of this month. If Bill, you could share that with everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah, let's get to the close. So we actually had a really fantastic bonus. It's called our Spring Fling. We do these from time to time, but this is actually one of the best ones we've ever done for the month of March. And there's still plenty of time here in the month of March up until the 31st. So you still got more than a couple weeks to activate policies. Any policy a signed up agent can activate between now and 3/31. You're going to get a $100 bonus, and that's on top of your regular commission, and that'll go straight to you. So there's no maximum on that. If you can activate 20 policies between now and the end of the month, you'll get $100 in each and every one. Yeah, we talked about the carriers. They're all A+ rated. The carriers I mentioned earlier are all A+, the ones that we worked with. Who owns the business? Yeah, that's another great question. As a independent agent partner, you own that client relationship. Technically, on the books of the carrier, whether it's Ameritas or Banner, technically on the books of the carrier, the agent is listed as Ethos Life. There's not an individual agent listed. It's just Ethos Life. But again, because you're a independent partner with us, that's your client and that's your client relationship. We'll never cross-sell them. We'll never go out and do any sales with that client for the life of our relationship. Okay. I think, yeah, at this point, I don't think.
Do we hit them all?
I think we got them all.
Okay. I saw a couple more people. Quite a few people have been mentioning this. But if you didn't catch it before, everyone open up the chat real quick and check it out there. a lot of people have been inquiring about the presentation. We won't be sending outbound emails. If you want the presentation, we have the recording. We're more than happy to send that to you. You'll just need to email us at agentservices@acmgsales.com. If you see, open up the chat, you'll see that in there. So just email us. We'll send you the recording. No problem there.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks everybody for the opportunity today. Great questions. I love great questions like that. It means you were really engaged. So I look forward to working with all you folks. Once you guys are signed up with us, I will be the account manager you get assigned to. So I will be working with everybody to onboard them if they're going to be signing up in the next couple of weeks. So be on the lookout to hear from me. Thank you again, Philip. Thank you, Rob.
Absolutely. Great presentation, Bill. Everyone have a great day. Take care. Happy selling. And we will hopefully, can't wait to hear some success stories with Ethos, how it takes your business to the next level and how it makes your clients happy. So everyone take care.